Welcome back to Frozen Education. This is Ed. Today I'm going to be looking at the ticker TT00. The company's name is TTOO Biosystems Incorporation. Their COVID play. First, I'm going to go through the 1 month, 1 day intervals, and then I'm going to go through the 1 hour intervals. Going to do all the technical analysis that we usually do, and then go on into news and a little bit off the coming in catalysts for the stocks as well. So, taking a quick look here, we see that in 1 month, 1 day, that the William % is still sitting at a neutral, more closer towards the oversold part, which is a good news for us. The average directional index shows to be strong in terms of the latest trend. The stock has gone above the 50 SMA and the 200 SMA, which is good news. The 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA, which is amazing for us. Going down, we see that the MACD is actually here, retracing back towards the positive, which is as well a good situation to be in right now. We can see the momentum has dipped quite a bit, but it's actually recovering nicely. The unbalanced volume, you can see that there's a lot of interest for this stock recently. Let's take a quick look into the 5 days, 1 hour period and get to determine a little bit of the insights of the stock. So you can get to see that the stock has fallen below the trading action zone, so that's a little bit dangerous. You can see it's fallen under the VWAP. And we can get to see that the MACD continues to bleed. So what I'm looking for is a little bit of stabilization in terms of that price. So if it closes tonight somewhere above the 1.5, it should be a good sign for us. But if it continues to bleed, you want to look into a point where this price starts holding up a little. But you get to see that it held it a few times here, and twice a day where buyers became a little bit more aggressive than sellers. And you get to see that in almost a doji star and in a hammer here pattern. So you want to make sure that the stock doesn't keep falling. So what is the actual previous trading day price? It was around 128, but I'll show you exactly in a second where the support is, or where I consider the support to be. Taking a quick look into the moving averages, you get to see that the stock has entered its moving averages from the top. So that's good news, and the moving averages will increase from today to tomorrow. So there might be a little bit, probably a good support sitting down at least somewhere around 140-ish. Going towards the patterns here, we get to look into two different trend lines. First one comes in this one here, which hasn't been broken yet, but still there's a lot to fall forward to. And then we can draw another one here that was actually broken before. So this one is not this one is already broken, so I would not consider this one. So I would consider more so the other one here, and it was somewhere around 1.3 where the trend line would be considered to be on the top. Now you can see that on the RSI it's actually increasing a little bit too fast, which might be a little bit dangerous for us. Going towards the Fibonacci retracements, we get to identify where that support is. So going around here, 39. So I would say somewhere around the 140 mark to 146 seems to be a current support that it's sitting at. You want to make sure that doesn't fall, because if it falls, it's probably going to meet the 133, and that's a lot of differences in price, but that seems to be a strong ratio from 133 to 147. You want it to stabilize around that region for it to actually become in considerably a bit more attractive buy. Now, when it comes into news, this company is pretty much doing all the right things. So I'll just go through the press briefing here. You get to see that the TTOO Biosystems have they've adapted the T2DX instrument for COVID, and they're using the same instrument for the FDA cleared T2 bacterial and other ones here. You get to see that they're actually doing a lot of amazing work that has been recently announced. So one of the biggest thing here is that their testing takes 3 to 5 hours compared to 1-5 days, and they don't need a lot of work. It's just basically straight on work that 3-5 hours, and the results gets there. So with resurgence of COVID-19, there's a lot of potential for this stock to keep growing, but you want to make sure you get at a pullback and not a spike. Another thing here, you get to see that they're on June 30. I think this PR came in just last evening, and you get to see that they gave a bit of an estimate for the second quarters, which looks like to be good news, especially increase off prior year period, since COVID is a thing now and they're actually tailoring for that market, but there might be an amazing play around here. Now, TTOO Biosystems, there is as well another article that came out this morning around 11:06. Nothing that didn't get priced in, but basically the company can still release a lot of PRs that can play nicely. So what you want to make sure is you're watching this. If you caught it somehow towards, let's say, the 239, what you want to do is you want to make sure first it stabilizes before it averages down. And so, for instance, you can at least break even if it goes to around $2 range, which it has tested before. Now, what I'm seeing here is a little bit a resemblance of maybe it's a little bit hard to identify a pattern based on after hours mainly, but it's just been a slow, well, rapid bleed in this case. You want to be very careful when you're approaching the stock. That's been my DD. What do you think about the stock? Mention it down in the comment below. Share, subscribe, and like. Have a good day.